Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Espero with the Viral Volley podcast. I've got Sarah Sponcil online with me today, and being that we are in our quarantine edition of our podcast and videocast or vodcast, it's such a great honor and opportunity to speak to Sarah because she's always been such a great personality to interview, to watch play, and even just have a little fun with. So thanks for taking the time here today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Hey, there are always a lot of questions, especially now we have a lot of the time to just look back on what's happened this last year. So I'm going to ask you the obvious question. After garnering the back end of UCLA's back-to-back national championships at Gulf Shores, the first weekend of May, and then you and Kelly jump on a plane for some FIVB tournaments with some solid finishes. You had 3 ninth-place finishes, a 5th-place finish, and a 2nd-place finish at Espero. You also had an incredible AVP season. Can you describe the whirlwind year in your eyes for our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, it was one of the craziest years of my life. As much as everyone wants to be prepared for something like this, I definitely wasn't prepared at all. But I think having Kelly with me, going on the road for 4 weeks at a time, then having like a weekend off and then another like 12 weeks, I think having her experience of already being on the world tour for, I think, 2 years at that point was really helpful, just being on the road for that long and being away from family for that long of a time. So in that aspect, it was, we jumped on the plane like 3 days after we won the national championship, went straight to Rio. And then from there, it was kind of just, we were blown and going for, 4 or 5 months straight. So I think the biggest thing was kind of just the mental aspect of, staying present, just going from one thing to the next. There's so much adversity when you're traveling and, you might miss flights. You're running from flight to flight trying to make it. And then trying to, the next day being able to, be in a mental state to play, to win a country quota, to like win the qualifier and then go straight into the tournament. So all of that was just crazy, like whirlwind, but it was so much fun. And I have a blast with Kelly on and off the court, and we mesh so well. So having someone like your best friend you get to travel the world with, and and just play and compete against the best teams in the world, I couldn't have asked for anyone to be by my side but her.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she didn't pay you to say that, huh?
She did not pay me. She doesn't pay me anything. I don't know what's going on. I need to ask for a cut.
So, on your end, you're one of the most gifted and instinctual defenders in the game today. And what has made you so successful throughout your collegiate beach career, and how has this transferred into your professional and international play?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, when you say that, it's kind of crazy because I feel like there's so much more I need to learn about, like defense and all these different things. I think the biggest thing that's helped me is, the biggest thing going from college to professional life is, yes, it's about physicality, but at that point, everyone's just as physical as you are. So, and they might even be more, physical, like they might have a better cut shot or a line shot or all these different things. But I think what I learned the most is like communication and making sure you're, spot on with your partner at all times, like off the court, on the court. If you're not doing well communication wise off the court, it's going to translate on the court type thing. And the biggest upgrade was like your mental game. And I think I learned a lot in the collegiate game as well as, and a lot of girls know it comes down to 1 or 2 points to win a national championship, or so you could train and you can do so well all the way through the entire match. And then it comes down to 1 or 2 points. And like, how are you going to respond mentally if you feel, like you're being attacked? Or are you going to like turn away from your partner? So it's just a lot of things I learned in the mental game in college, and especially on the professional tour, because these girls are so much more experienced, and just making sure you're grounded during the game and you're just, communicating well with your partner. But those are the 2 things that really helped me. And I think the biggest thing also is when you are in college and you are going up against girls that, are just as good as you, even professional wise, you know, you have to like believe in your strengths. And a lot of times we kind of compare ourselves. We're like, oh my God,
Mhm.
she has like, she hits way harder than me, or she's like way faster than me. And you just start to compare yourself to these all-time greats or anyone even across the net, like during a match. But I think the more you stray away from that and are just like, okay, these are my strengths. I know my strengths. How am I going to use this to my best of my ability during the match? And, you know, we all have weaknesses, but how are we going to turn those into strengths? So I think the less we compare ourselves and just believe in ourselves and are confident with what we're kind of given, you know, the better off we are and the more free that we play.
Yeah.
So I think that helped a lot.
Now, after playing a full year with Kelly, and you kind of alluded to this in one of your earlier responses, but can you describe your on versus off court relationship? Because it seems like
Oh my God.
you guys are the queens of fun, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge reason why Kelly, well, when Kelly's looking for a partner, she's like, I want someone that's kind of just the same age as me, and, you know, someone that's gonna, it's not, yes, it's business, but like I can actually have fun with her on the court and off the court and mesh with them like as a person. And I think right when we met about 2 years ago, yeah, we just like instantly clicked. And the funniest thing is, we took like a personality test a couple months ago, and I've just like ever since we met, I'm like, we are completely opposite people. Like, I don't even know how to say it, but we took the personality test and we were completely right. Like, everything was totally different. And I think that's why like we work so well, is we just, I have ideas, she has ideas, we bounce off of each other. And yeah, it's just, she's such an amazing person to work with, to, you know, have fun with. And, you know, like I was saying, when you're on the road for 12 weeks, a lot of people, it's business, it's their job, which it
Mhm.
is. But I like really believe in like, if you enjoy who you're with and like what you're doing, like it's going to translate on the court. And a lot of times it just feels so effortless with her. And I mean, that just, you know, makes us play more free. And, you
Yeah,
know, you get to enjoy your life off the court too. And which I'm, you know, there's so much more time you're spending with that person off the court than really on the court. And
right.
but yeah, she's definitely a hoot. And every time I'm with her, we're just having a freaking blast. So yeah, it's great.
He's the yin to your yang on the volleyball court and on.
Exactly. Yeah. Total opposites, but it works perfectly.
Now, so right off the bat out of college, you happen to pick up three pretty good sized sponsors fairly quickly in Monster Energy, or is it Monster Hydro? That
Monster
you,
Hydro, Wilson, and Adidas. Yeah.
now, how did those relationships materialize for you so quickly?
I mean, a lot of them just, I think a lot of it's connections too. So, they kind of just like reached out to me or my mom, who's kind of my agent. Thank you, mom. But it was, yeah, I didn't, it's kind of hard because when I was on the world tour, I was trying to like communicate with them. And to be honest, I thought growing up, like a sponsorship was like, oh, like sign on the dotted line type thing. But there's so much I learned and had to figure out through my mom, and my mom kind of had to figure out
Mhm.
just how sponsors work. And it took quite a long time to kind of get them finalized. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I was pretty in shock with all three of them. And yeah, like you said, like right out of college. So yeah, any chance that I can get on social media to make any content for them, like I'm totally stoked, because I'm like still, you know, when you say that, I'm in shock. I remember like last year or 2 years, no, it was last year on the AVP, I played with like Therese. This is before
Mhm.
I even played with Kelly. And I remember like Adidas was always, well, not always, but
You're
it
referring
was,
to Therese Cannon, right?
yeah,
So,
Therese Cannon.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
USC Trojans. Um, but I remember walking into an Adidas store and I was like obsessed with Adidas. And it was right after the AVP Chicago, I think. And I
Mhm.
walked in and I'm like looking around. I'm like, I want to buy like everything in this room type thing. And I just remember I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to get them. And my goal was to always be sponsored by Adidas. And like to that day, I told my dad, I'm like, you know what? We're not buying the shoes, because I'm like, my goal is to like be sponsored by them. And I love repping them. I think they're an amazing company, and so is Wilson and Hyde, like Monsters. So just to be a part of all three of those that I like believe, and love so much. I think, yeah, I'm just so grateful to this day.
Well, I got a little, I think I'm going to catch you off surprise here. So I'm going to try and play with some of my new multimedia here.
Okay.
This came out recently. You may be familiar with this.
Oh, yeah.
And let's just let it play out for our viewers here, and they can hear what you got going on here.
Okay.
I had to put this part in. It's classic. I think you know where I'm going to end this video at, right?
Oh God, what is this? Oh my God. That's so great. Oh my gosh.
So, you know, I don't think a lot of people saw this. In case they didn't, I'm hoping they'll get it here. But it seems you and Kelly missed out on your calling as pop icons.
Oh, I know.
Music videos you put out. How did you come about?
It was a blast filming that.
Because you have Drops of Reality and this one, Beach Rules. So
yep, we have tons more too. We just haven't gotten to them yet. Oh gosh, it's so much fun doing those videos. It kind of just, yeah, came out of nowhere, but yeah, gosh, craziness.
Well, you were, like I said, you were on the FIVB's website being featured with this stuff. So you're worldwide, and I think you'd be as big as a K-pop star at this point. So
that's the next dream after the Olympics.
Let's see. So with that, you know, let's see. You jumped into some new ventures just as we were talking a few days ago. Do you want to mention a little bit about them, and you can even promote them here, because I'd love to get people following you and Kelly and AVP and just anything volleyball, because we definitely need that. We need that escape, especially now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, you know, going to social media. I think that's a lot of it's just, that's all we have right now is like a way to connect. And I think that's why social media is kind of like popping up big time during this time where everyone's, you know, a little bit disconnected at home. And for me, just to like keep my mind going, I've just been like experimenting with things that I've always wanted to do. And I've always wanted to make a website and kind of like dabble with, you know, YouTube and see like where that takes me. And I think this has like been an amazing opportunity because I have all the time in the world. So what I've kind of been doing in my off time the past couple of weeks is I started a website called Sponcil.com, pretty original. And I started
FlyingScroll.com, right?
Yeah. And then I started a YouTube channel, and I think it's like really cool for, you know, young girls to see what professional beach volleyball players are doing. A lot of college athletes, I think it's good for them. And I would have loved to really know what a day in the life of a professional athlete is, and, you know, just like watch all these different videos. And so I'm trying to, you know, release as much content as I can and see what people want to see. I think a lot of girls love to, you know, see the different tips and drills that they can do at home, and kind of helping them out with that, or different workouts, stuff like that. But so yeah, I've been really working on my website, trying to promote that. And I've really always wanted to get into, you know, writing and blogging. Growing up in high school, I wasn't the best like writer, but I was writing like papers I didn't really want to write about.
Right.
So I think I've been, you know, messing around with that. So blogging on my website, and yeah, just throwing, you know, different stuff up on the website and seeing where it takes me. But, you know, like I said, I think it's a time to do things that you never had time to do or always wanted to do, and just see where it, you know, takes you. I think, yeah, kind of using this time wisely to, you know, connect, do those different things, connect with friends that you haven't talked to in a long time. But yeah, so that's like what I've been doing. If you are bored and want some volleyball tips, things to look at, articles, go to my website and check it out. Leave some comments if you like it. If you don't like it, I love all the feedback. So
I just got to ask what the there is a coupon code on there, and what's the coupon code good for?
The promo code, so since I'm sponsored by Wilson, any volleyballs that you buy or accessories using my code, you get 10% off. So that's pretty
Nice.
good.
I was curious. I went in to try and do it, and I was like, I don't want to go and buy it quite yet.
I know. Get that discount. Save
There you
money.
go. All
But
right.
yeah, so.
I got to ask, one of your videos is grabbing some serious traction this week and has some great training, good humor,
Oh
and hilarious facial expressions on your part. It's the parental training video.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So you're not only your agent, but now a subject in one of your videos. Why did you decide to utilize your parents in this volleyball skills video?
I know, my mom was the MVP of the video with the face plant. That was like the best part. But no, it was funny because I think so many people are, putting their workout videos, different stuff like challenges, everything's going on social media. And I mean, we're trying to find like different drills and stuff at home. And I don't know, I just was like thinking like growing up, everyone can relate to this. Every, college or, indoor athlete, beach athlete, when they're, done with their matches or games, their parents are always, trying to help them out. Like, oh, your setting was a little off, like all these different things that they're trying to like, they love you and they want to blurt these things out, but they just don't really know the timing of when to do that.
Right.
So it kind of just took me back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we might as well just like put them through a clinic because, sometimes it seems like they know it all and they've, watched so many games that they know how to do all these different things. So I thought it would be really funny to, see what they got. But I know it was really entertaining. And yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be that entertaining, but I had a blast. So there might be a part 2 coming. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be great. Just as long as you don't get busted for parental abuse.
I know, exactly. Now I got to go a little easy on the down balls. I kind of started a little aggressive, but
yeah, that definitely wasn't a 3/4 swing. That was more like a
yeah, that was a full swing. I didn't warm up, but I was like, oh God, okay, mom, way to handle that. Okay, good.
All right, I think it's a good place to take a break right there. You're listening and watching Sarah Sponcil on the Viral Volley podcast, and she's in Phoenix. I'm in Orange County, and we are in the quarantine edition of our podcast. So we'll be back with more. We're going to have some fun with Sarah because we know she's a fun queen.
Okay, let's do it. Can't wait.
All right, Sarah, here's a surprise segment.
Oh gosh, okay.
I'm not going to prep you because I like the answers to be very
genuine.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
Everyone, we're back on the Viral Volley podcast. On your screen, you got Sarah Sponcil, pro beach volleyball player, UCLA two-time national champion, and just an all-around awesome, great person to chat with. Thanks again, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
We've had our serious discussion part. We figured we should lighten the mood a little bit. And I started doing this with a few of our interviewees towards the end of the men's season. We call it the rundown. What I do is I throw down some quick questions that require a quick answer, kind of like a defender like Sarah. You have to run things down and be ready for the next ball. So she's got to be ready for the next question. And they're going to be quick answers. Okay. I'm going to select maybe 7 questions to ask her, and we'll see about what's going on inside Sarah's head and what that other side of
But I'll say paying rent is not that fun. All my money's quickly drifting away. You'll see accounts are draining. Those tears in my eyes are raining. I'll say this chapter can seem so far, but we have made it way too far to let life kick us while we are looking for ourselves out there.
First question, what's your go-to song before a match?
Oh, Cardi B, Bodak Yellow.
Okay. Movie.
My favorite movie?
Yep.
Bridesmaids, by far. No question.
Funniest heckle directed at you?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. It's probably something about a handset being a double or something.
I heard those hecklers too at Hermosa.
Yeah, yeah. I lifted it or something. Something's going on.
Would you go to a Comic-Con or anime festival with Kelly?
Yeah, if she dressed me up, I don't know any of the characters.
We're not in training mode. What would you indulge in?
Oh, ice cream. I mean, I'm still doing ice cream, but it's not really training mode right now. We don't know what's going on.
On a deserted island, I wouldn't want to be without fill in the blank.
Water. I don't know. It's essential.
Wi-Fi, I thought you'd say no.
Maybe.
All right, here you go. Here's a tough one. My arch nemesis in beach volleyball is fill in the blank.
Oh God, I don't want to say that. That's a secret.
That's an answer. That's an answer. Favorite place to be is?
Ooh, with my friends.
Well, okay, good answer. And finally, if you had an extra roll of toilet paper, I would give it to fill in the blank.
Ooh. Oh God. One of my family members? I don't know. We're in the same house. I don't know. My sister.
Oh gosh. Well, that was our rundown segment. You did really
Perfect.
well. You know,
Thank you. That was
answer.
sweating over here. I gotta take a drink of water.
Okay. Oh, the product placement, the Monster Hydro
Oh
bottle.
yeah, that was the goal.
Well, Sarah, I so appreciate you taking the time in our quarantine edition of Viral Volley, and I
This was
wish you
fun.
the best in your training. And I'd love to have you back on as
Yeah.
things go on. I know we will have some free time, but even this, I have some ideas, and would love to just get you on the screen here and get you.
Yeah. It's always great to chat with you, Rob.
Oh, I'm honored. It's always a great time seeing you play too. I wish that could. I'm hoping that it'll be sooner rather than later.
I know, sooner rather than later.
Rob Espero here for Viral Volley Podcast. Thanks for clicking in to today's vodcast with Sarah Sponcil, a professional beach volleyball player. I want to encourage all of you that we will make it through these times right now. Hashtag I saw today, alone together. We can do this. Keep hope until the end of this thing, this COVID virus. Check out the other resources to support all our athletes and all of our publications here in the game. We're providing content for you to view, to enjoy, to better yourself and your skills. There's so many out there, but the ones that come off the top of my head are the AVP site, P1440, volleyballmag.com, the McKibben brothers. You've got all the social media accounts for all the professional athletes, and so many more. So be sure to click back into the Viral Volley podcast. Have a few guests lined up, and they're excited to be on here. So be safe, stay in, and remember, alone together.